Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at Valkure Guitar Organ by Yonac. It's really fun and really cool. So let's Oj. Why, hello there. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Well, it's getting on through the week here. It's Thursday morning here, Wednesday for the rest of you living outside of Australia, and we got another killer app to look at today, and it is indeed from Yonac, and they make such wicked apps, so it's always a pleasure to take a look at a Yonac app, and this one is no different at all. So if you ever wanted to play the organ and you didn't you weren't used to like putting your hands on an organ to play the keys, but you're not too bad at grabbing hold of the shaft of the guitar. Oh, no. You can play the organ on your guitar. There's enough of that. Have we got all the organ jokes out the way now, like usual? We'll just get them all out. If you're in the live chat and you want to get all the organ jokes out of the way, just get them out the way now. Right? We won't be going back to them. Good stuff. So, yeah, it's an organ. That's what it is. And, you know, Yonac are very, very good at their organ apps. It's their bread and butter, but they're also really good at doing guitar stuff. And so when they come together and meet together, it's pretty damn sweet. And we love it when apps like this come out, because this is possibly, I have to say, the easiest guitar to synth kind of, or to organ app I think I've ever used for setup, because normally there's a little bit of setup, and it's a technology that is growing, but there is MIDI Guitar 3, I think, coming out soon. I think I'm on the beta. I am on the beta. Is that what it is? MIDI Guitar 3. So that's on its way, and that's had some pretty incredible updates since the last time. Is that what it's called? Let me have a look. I'm looking at my my betas that I'm testing in MIDI Guitar. So there is a beta of it for iOS. You can get the Mac version for MIDI Guitar, the update. Sorry, MIDI Guitar 2. What am I saying? I'm jumping one ahead. Is that right? Yeah, MIDI Guitar 2. So, but this one makes it very, very easy to set this up. Let's say hello to you all, and we'll jump in and do some demos, and then we'll get out of here for today, because Thomas Christ is following this show today with You Rock, playing your most rockin' music, as he does each and every Wednesday. And he's right here, the mod champion. He wins all the awards. He is the champion. He is the champion, my friends. Studio 6+1, hello. Valkure, Joe, and Barry Glenn combined into one nickname. Ali, hello. The real Justine Kasprick, only the real. Do not accept any imitations. Who else is in the house? Clayton Von Kluge with all the emojis flapping about. Hugh Caldwell, g'day. Have I missed anyone as I scroll around? Tom says banging these links. If you want to help out, you can do all this kind of stuff. It's all the usual YouTube-y stuff. Valkure, Chris Lane. I went to the App Store and bummed to see this is iOS only. It is Mac. Also, Chris Lane Sr. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, works on Mac. You can download the app from the Mac App Store. It works on Mac. You have a Mac, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's M1 only. I'll have to have a look at the App Store. Let's have a look. We'll bounce over here quickly. Normally they say if it is M1 only, or if it just says Mac, then normally that's going to be okay, I think. We're looking here. Works on this. M1. Oh, there we go. So it requires a Mac with an M1 chip or later. But it does work on Mac. So the very same app on iOS works on Mac also. Anyone else I forgot? You wasn't feeling the organ jokes? Yeah, I wasn't either. But you got to do them. Slayer. Exactly. Slayer forever. Fucking Slayer. It's got to be said that way. Fucking Slayer. Hello, MC. And Ed Zielinski, Leela, thanks for a great show and dumping all of your people over here to me. And I think we're good. I don't think I've missed anyone else. As I scroll back up, I think we're all good. If I've missed you, just call me a banana head. That'll get my attention, I guess. Maybe. Who knows? You haven't gotten your M Mac yet, but you will soon. It will be a thing. All right, let's bounce over here. So here it is, $9.99. As I said, works on Mac and all iOS devices, iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, if you have one of those. This is a 50% off sale at the moment. I don't know the date that it will go up, so it will double. It'll be about $20. So if you're into it, probably get it in the next couple of days. I'm not really sure. They don't have a date, as I said. They're a bit sneaky like that. But $10 currently. It's only to download 38.4 megabytes. So it's a really small app. And Mateusz Prakowski has crept in the room. Hello, Mateusz. Let's bounce over here and have a play, shall we? So I've got basically my lo-fi version of, what's the song called? Don't let our days go by. You'll know the song when you hear it. So let's play this. Glycerine. I knew Justine would get it. So I've got the guitar out here. I'm going to play some organ. How cool, huh? Getting to play an organ on a guitar. So as you see, I didn't set anything up. I've just plugged this in. So you basically set a channel, an audio channel, no MIDI. So an audio channel like you're playing a guitar in. You set this as an effect. Didn't even touch anything. Neato. All right, let's get into how this thing works, because it's a bit of voodoo if you ask me. Absolute voodoo. So here is the track here. So the last track, we've just got the guitar going into track 1 of my interface, and this is the app. So if you've seen any of Yonac's apps before, it's a very similar aesthetic, pretty much the same. Not the same, but you know, it follows the same aesthetic with where all the buttons are. So this is an organ, obviously. And we have our drawers up here. So these are the 3 sections. This is the main page you'll load up to. When you click this button up here, like the settings, you'll get your input, your organ, pedal, and percussion settings over here. Click that off and it comes back to your drawer. You've also got an effects page here, which is where your cabinet is. Yeah, so you want to make sure your cabinet is on. You've got an amplifier up the top here. You've got a compressor. You've got an equalizer and even a delay. If we turn this on. It's bloody cool. And there's also a little system button up here too. This will give you some information about everything. So you've got your MIDI channels. You also can MIDI learn anything you like. So when you click on that, have something connected, like I'd have to have a keyboard connected over here. And all you do is like make sure it's connected, turn the knob, select which one you want, turn the knob, blink, and it will be all MIDI connected. All MIDI learned up. If you want to clear your MIDI CCs that you've created, you can hit clear and clear these out and all of that jazz. So super simple that you can find that in the system. Now this is where I thought I would have to go to find how to set the guitar up. But whatever technology they're using under the hood here, it's pretty neat because you can hear even bends. Even hammer-ons. It's pretty damn impressive technology. We are coming a long way with this MIDI to guitar kind of stuff. I remember the first few apps that were doing this, it was just dreadful. It's awful shit. Also, you can get to your presets by coming up in the top corner here, and this will give you your presets page. Pretty standard. I'll just put the guitar down for a sec. Oh no, I'll keep it up here. So pretty standard stuff for Yonac if you've used them before. Down the bottom, add new presets. You can edit them. You've got an initial patch here that you can click at any time. So to get to that initial patch, you come to your presets. There is an init down the bottom here that you can click. You know, create folders, all that kind of stuff, add a new bank. You do have 4 banks of presets, which is pretty cool. And there's even, I think there's even a patch for that. There's a deep purple patch. So there's a patch for that. Each bank has a crap ton of patches, as you can see. This is just bank 1, bank 2. There's a crap load. 3 as well, heaps of them in there. And 4 has a heap as well. So I'm not sure exactly how many patches, but there's a lot to play around with. So if you can't get started with all of these patches, then you probably should take up snooker. You've got a recents tab. Let me just turn this guitar down. You've got a recents tab over here. So anything that you've recently opened will appear in there. And if you do like any of the particular sounds that you have come across, like this organ butter one, you can hit the little star and that will then put it into your favorites. So favorites is always at the top in your presets, recent, then all your banks. You can create your own brand new banks as well. See, by hitting the plus over here, you can create your own bank. Call this Jade and hit enter, and there's my new bank. So within here, I can save my own presets in here as well too. To delete, you've got options over here for exporting, right? So here's if you want to export your presets or anything like that. This is your export to files, import from files. So importing presets, exporting, you can send via an email if there's a bank in there. So all those, and you can actually search in here too. So you can type in, like, if I type in, come up here, put in deep, I'm going to get that deep purple bank. So if you remember like a part of the name of your preset that you haven't favored yet, you can just put in the word and you should be able to find it there. I normally don't cover all the little things that are down here in this little space, but you know, there's a whole lot of stuff for the presets, so that's cool. We'll come back up to bank 1 and let's go over here. So we've got our input. Let's give this some volume. We'll actually come over to, what's this, something soulful. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit, bit loud. The input of my guitar is a little bit loud. Let's try another one. Tell you what's really cool with this, the ability to add guitar techniques to this is really interesting, like playing a swell. Something you can't, you know, there is really interesting techniques using a guitar, things that you can do on a guitar that you can't do with a keyboard, that you could get some really cool stuff with some effects on here and all that kind of stuff. So shall we go through where are we up to? We'll come up here, we're on this preset here. We've got our input. We've got up the top here a low cut. And a high cut. Now you're probably hearing some of my playing come through because I've got my mic live. Let's silence that. We've also got the dwell here and our attack and sensitivity. So we can turn up the sensitivity for the guitar. Not that I've found too much of a difference. I mean, as I said, out the box, it just plays really nice. In the middle, we've got our organ here, so you can change between the two models. So you've got a mellow, you've got a classic, and a transistor. And I know this will be everybody's favorite button, especially Mateus, the leakage button knob. I'll play something really complex on the guitar for a sec before we keep going through. So it sounds great for that kind of stuff. You want to play some Dream Theater-ish nonsense? It's going to sound really good. Sounds wonderful. So that was our leakage. This is the taper. We'll do that at the end, Ed. We've got resonance, the body of the organ, and air. I mean, the other interesting thing about this is you can do things like power chugging, and an organ normally doesn't do that, which is a very unique sound for a very unique song that you may write. So there's definitely some major benefits. Oh yeah, it picks up notes really well. So if I play a chord, it's an A minor. Even the old Hendrix chord. But not in every kind of sound. Some sounds are going to get a better result than others. So the pedal's got resonance and boost as well over here. This is the mellow model. Bar chords work really well with it as well. Let's so we've got the percussion side of the organ as well here. Let's come over and look at this, and then we'll go back over there. So there are some presets here for your draws as well. You've got your rotary or tremolo, so your chorale or your choral, whatever you want to call it, tremolo. Your expression. And you've got this stop button here, which will align this pretty much with your door. So we've also got our CV up here. The vibrato can be on or off. Let's just put this back here. Pretty much the pedals you'd see in all of these. So you've got your harmony, third or second, fast decay, slow or fast. You've got your volume, normal or soft, and percussion on or off. And as we went back here, you can have your percussion or CV selected from here. And you can control your draws. You can pull your draws down from over here as well too. So you've got full control to mess about with all these to your heart's content. Okay, let's talk about the amplifier. So you've got 3 different types of amplifier here as well. We turn this on. You've got this, the rotary, you've got this US and UK type. There's a gain knob here, typical amplifier. You've got a boost if you want. Low cut, bass, mid, treble, presence, and volume, all of that usual stuff that you would find in an amplifier. We're at our halfway point. Let me mute this, and I'll have to seriously mute this for a sec. Every day at the halfway point of the show, we have an ad break, and I need to do this. Let's do it now. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube Premium subscriber and avoiding all ads, including this, or you may not even get one at all. It may happen or it may not. Maybe it's Maybelline. So I'll run the ad and we'll take a guess and see what happens. Now, tomorrow, there is no interview tomorrow. We're doing something very special. Look, I'd be a fool not to do this while Brad's here. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing that Brad's here, you know what I'm saying? And he's going this Monday coming up, so we've only got the weekend to go. So I thought we'd do something different, and we'll get back to our interviews next week. We are going to, tomorrow, be in this studio recording. And so you can be a fly on the wall. We'll move the cameras around and set them up in a different kind of configuration here in the studio. And you can hang out for a couple of hours if you want and get see the process of miking up everything, setting up mic stands, gaffer taping the whole shit down, and watching a reconfiguration of the studio to record in here using an iPad. That's what we'll be doing. And then, yes, it's happening. The last episode in the series on Friday, second in the human centipede train. On Friday, the last episode of Rock and Roll Road Stories with me and Brad, talking about experiences being in bands. The first week was drugs, sex. The second week was sex, drugs. And this week's going to be rock and roll. All of those promoters and all those assholes that have burnt us and all that kind of stuff. So you want to hear some horror stories about like being in a band and all that kind of stuff and some good times. Come and join us for that Rock and Roll Road Stories. Thanks, Thomas, for banging the links in there. I'm sure there'll be sex and drugs somehow tied into it, Hugh, because it's me and Brad. You know what I mean? Brad spent the majority of his life playing in bands naked on stage. And I spent the majority of my time on stage cutting myself open on stage. Climbing up things and falling through windows, all this weird shit. The stuff you do when you're in a band, eh? And you're young and you don't give a shit. It's all good. So, let's get back over here. where did my sound go? I muted it, that's it, didn't I? Okay. We're over here, weren't we? Oh, we were back over on this page here. So you've got a compressor over here as well. So you can chuck on a compressor. You've got some makeup gain as well with the compressor. So if you add that compression on there, you might want to pump up this gain just to bring back some of that love. You also have 4 different cabinets over here too. When you click on this little button here, you've got 4 different cabinets. You can have it off. But when it's off, this is when it kind of doesn't sound its best. So you're going to want to have a cabinet on at all times. So we have both our, what is it? It's a drum and the horn. Is that what it is? Why is my brain complex? So this is your controls for your cabinet. So you've got, I think the drum is up the top. Oh, sorry, horn's up the top, drums down the bottom. So you can change from a slow, let's just take it all the way to the, so if you move this balance over to the left, you're going to get the drum. And you can change to a mono. You got 90, 180. There's a room reverb in there. Is that a room? There's a room reverb as well in here. Can turn that off. And we can go over to the horn and control that as well. And then get our balance. As I said, we've got a delay over here that needs to be turned on with your time, wet and dry feedback. And an EQ. I don't think I need to go through an EQ. Got a low cut, high cut, and then you got your band in the middle there, and we've got our cues for underneath all of these. And they are all of the important things. You've got an input and an output you can change the volume of over here, but let's go through some presets. And what I'll do is we'll play this repetitive thing I made at the start, my lo-fi version of Glycerine, and we'll just go and go through these sounds. So I'll start up here. heavy is that one? It's almost like a distorted guitar. That's pretty cool. It's a fucking man. Being able to do hammer-ons like that is pretty damn wild. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed, Yonac. You've done a really good job with this. So this first patch has 30 tones in it. We're definitely not going to be able to go through them all today. I did want to try this with bass before we get out of here. Let's try this now. I wanted to try it with an acoustic. So let's unplug that, swap it out for an acoustic and see how we go with an acoustic. We'll put it through its paces because there might be people out there who don't even own an electric guitar and just an acoustic. So it definitely works through an acoustic guitar. There's no problem there. Let me just unplug that. We'll grab a bass a bit later, just at the end of the show maybe. And I saw Barry said, what about through a microphone? Well, I'm glad you asked that, Barry, because what do you know? I kind of have a microphone sitting here. Well, I did have. It's sitting there somewhere. There it is. Where's it gone? It's here it is. Let's plug it in and see what we can do with a microphone. Because at the moment I have a few of them sitting around here because we've been recording. So we'll create a new channel over here. We'll mute this. And we want to go input 2. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, we have a second microphone, and let's chuck on. Just so you can hear what I'm doing. Alright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is play this track and try and hum along and see if I can play it with my mouth to the rest of this. So it kind of works. That's cool. You'd have to be pretty on note, because that's the thing. Like, the tracking's so good. Tracking's so good on it. If you even waver a little bit with your voice, it's going to, you know, you're going to get that vibrato, you're going to get that waver. So you really have to be, if you were going to do something like that, but it is possible, absolutely 100% possible. Don't have a guitar, don't have a bass, sing your next organ solo. Yeah, exactly, Thomas. All right, so just to, what have we got? We got about 14 minutes. So let's just jump over here, because I think I have another project. Let's just save this sucker. Yeah, time for metal. Hello, Will, Agent 907. Anybody I may have missed going forward. Project 177. Tremor Bear, hello. Let's see if this loads. Okay, so I do have something in here. And this is all I've played into this. Okay, so what we want to see is what happens when we add distortion and one of these. Whoa. Let's try it the other way around. I knew that was going to happen. Savage. Let's go with this deep purple one. Actually, what's in bank 4? Excellent. Let's just record that in there for now. We'll just make sure we've got a noise gate on here. Nice, that'll do. Oops. There we go. anyway, I am super impressed. What a cool little app. It's on sale for $10 at the moment. It will go up. I don't know what date it will go up. It will go up to double the price. It's 50% off at the moment. So if you're up for it, there you have it. You can play with your organ while you're playing with your guitar. Really good job, Yonac. You know, so, and if we jump over here quickly, so they've been really killing it. I mean, Yonac are really solid. Not only for organs and stuff, they do love their organs, but also with guitar stuff. So if we come over here, you can see they've been releasing a whole bunch of stuff lately, which we've covered. The Zodiac Gemini plate reverb, the Theraminator. Remember, they got the Theremin out there as well. The Zodiac Taurus Octavizer, the rotary speaker and amp, the King B organ. There's so many that they have. I mean, they really do make great apps. What have we got? The Trooper, the Steel Guitar Series, Tone Stack Pro has all your guitar stuff. Roxin, forget about Roxin. Roxin's virtually the same kind of thing as this, but with synthesizers stuff. So if you haven't checked out Roxin, I covered that ages ago. They really do make good apps, Yonac, from Cauldron to all their synthesizers. They just make great stuff. It is what it is. So that's that. Another really cool app from Yonac. It is the Valkure, that is how you say it, guitar and organ. If you are a Patreon for $5 and over, there's a couple of copies that will go up in a few minutes on the Patreon. Leave a comment, do that stuff, and you go in for the running on the weekend Patreon live stream. Thanks, Thomas. You're so quick, man. Didn't even get it out of my mouth. And you just boom, look at boom. So quick, rocket fire. Folks, tomorrow we're going to be recording live in the studio, so hopefully you can come and join us for that. It's going to be lots of fun watching me yell at Brad and Brad yell at me, and we're going to have a fight in the studio. We're going to have a punch on. It's going to be two disabled people punching each other. It's going to be hilarious. So hopefully you can join us for that. Rock and roll stories on the Friday and all that jazz. But up next, live and in person. I can hear Brad doing something back there. He was yelling at me. Oh, he's blowing his nose. You guys probably can't hear it. That is the loudest nose blow I think I've ever heard in my life. Up next is Thomas Christ with You Rock. I'll dump you there automatically. Alrighty. Next week, things will get back to a little bit of normalcy. We've got a whole lot of catch-up to do next week and stuff, so bear with us. I know we've been a bit light on for app reviews and all that stuff, but it's finding a balance sometimes. Sometimes you got to take the foot off the pedal over here to cater for changes over here, and having a guest here for the last 3 weeks, that's how it goes, man. But we'll get back to it next week when I sadly say goodbye to Brad at the airport. Fuck off. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Or over at Thomas's. You will see me over there. Do what makes you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. Stay awake. And the famous thing, let's ode.